Hi everybody, this is the 2.7 litre V6 Santa Fe. I like to keep an eye on the condition of my timing belt, and all I do is just remove this top timing belt cover. It's got four 10mm bolts holding it in place. A little bit of wriggling, but it comes out quite nicely, and that exposes a big section of the timing belt. And then I just carefully examine the length of the belt, looking for any sign of excessive wear, cracking, fluffing up on the edges, uh, any damage to any of the teeth on the toothed belt, all of that sort of thing that would let you know that the belt life is coming to an end very quickly. Then I would do a replacement. So I'm reluctant to replace the belt before it is really necessary. So at the moment this belt has done about 110,000 kilometers. Um, a lot of the books say it should do about 160,000 kilometers or 100,000 miles between replacements. This is the second timing belt that this engine has had on it. Anyway, I've taken some pictures and compared them to last year's pictures, and everything looks just the same. I can still see the markings of the Hyundai OEM details on the belt in green ink, so that's still there. So it hasn't really, rubbed too badly for 110,000 Ks. Now to do this, I just take the tension off the serpentine belt. 17mm socket, a bit hard to see down there, 17mm socket onto the tensioner, and just a couple of strong cable ties to hold the tension in place. That takes a bit of the pressure off the belt here, just giving me enough movement so that I can tuck the timing cover behind the serpentine belt. Just put a bit more light down in there, you can see what's going on. So that's my using my breaker bar, 17-inch socket on the bolt of the serpentine belt tensioner. Push it towards the rear of the car and then just tie it back securely with a couple of decent cable ties. I haven't really gone all of the way, I've just gone enough to give myself some movement, just a bit of movement here on my belt, just to loosen it off so that I can actually tuck behind it. Otherwise you've got to sort of twist the belt on its side, which I have done in the past, and it's just a bit of a pain because you can't really use two hands to maneuver the timing cover back in place, the timing belt cover back in place. I did notice this time, to make it easier, I put a little bit of silicon, what do we call it, gasket on the back of the O-ring, is it to hold it into the groove on the plastic timing cover, so that it wouldn't sort of drop it into the wrong position as I was maneuvering it around to get it lined up. You may find that if you haven't done it before, it's quite well dislodged, so quite well lodged into the groove, and it should not fall out. But I've done this job a few times now, so this is one of my annual checks on the engine, just to keep an eye on my timing belt. I'm anticipating that I should get to that 160,000 kilometers. So depending what sites you look at, some say 100,000 kilometers and some say 100,000 miles, which is about 160,000 kilometers. So I'm at this stage looking at the 160,000 or close to 160,000 kilometers before I do my belt replacement, which I will do myself. I've done this in the past on my earlier Santa Fe, which has got the very similar engine to it. It's not a big task at all, it's quite straightforward, doing the pump and the tensioners at the same time. Anyway, there's a little bit of a video. that task if you do want to do it yourself, having a little inspection to at least keep an eye on the condition of your belt. And especially if you haven't had a look at it, and maybe you're curious about the condition of the belt. You might have bought a second-hand vehicle and don't really know the history of the belt changes, or you may be thinking, heck, what is the condition of my belt like? Is it about to snap? Now, of course, it could snap at any stage, but typically it should have show some signs before it lets go. That's what I'm expecting anyway. I'm going to chance it that way, that I should see some breakdown of the belt condition, and straight away at that stage I'd take the vehicle off the road and do the job. My engine is splattered with this white compound. That was a very bad move. When I did my headlights, when I buffed up my headlights, which came up really nice, I had the hood open. If I ever do this job again, I'll put a tarpaulin over the whole area, because in my zest to get these headlights nice and shiny, I was splattering this compound all over the place, and I haven't even looked into removing it yet, because it just looks like such a pain. It's on everything. I guess when I put the engine cover back on, it'll hide a lot of it. But anyway, I'm just living with it. I just can't be bothered trying to remove it all, and just put that down to experience. Next time I'll be a lot more careful preventing that splatter going on everything, as it was. It went all over my clothes, and it's a bit of a messy old job doing your headlights, but there's a lot of satisfaction once you've got the finished article all done. Anyway, I hope your holiday season is going well, and look forward to catching up with you in another video later on. There's a little update on the 2.7 litre V6 Hyundai Santa Fe CM model 2008.